Richard, lovely to catch up with you again. Now, the last time we met in this particular studio, there were a few more of you. It's been a big year for you this year.
Yeah.
So how's it been and how are you now?
It's been great. It's been a real learning curve, obviously, coming out of a group, going on my own. You know, I've got all those experiences that I shared with 4 other people, now taking that whole burden myself. But no, I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, to be honest, I left because I wanted to be happier. I wanted to, you know, move forward and just enjoy life. It's when you start calling something that you really enjoy, like singing, work, I felt like that was the time I had to leave. I'd get back and be like, oh, work sucked. And it's like, why am I calling this thing that I absolutely love doing work, you know? But now things are really sort of snowballing, really. Now we're coming into the winter months, it's just fantastic. Got a couple of gigs coming up, talking about development deals with record labels. Yeah, couldn't be happier. I
was looking at your bio and I didn't realise you'd done so much beforehand. And I mean, you were lucky, and we have to say this phrase, lucky in the world of show business, it's been a big film too with Simon Pegg. I mean, you know, it's not an easy thing to get that, you know? So
yeah, no, totally.
How did that come around?
Yeah, that was my first ever job. I started out busking when I was 16 years old, and that's sort of where the first taste of like ever being something that I could actually make some money off and enjoy at the same time.
That's tough as well, to do that on your own.
Well, thank you very much. Well, I was actually the first time I ever did it. I was absolutely shaking like a leaf. My mum came with me. We were outside Theatre Royal in Brighton, and it was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done. But no, obviously you learn, and I started out doing that, and then I managed to get an agent who saw me in Anything Goes at my school play, and they really enjoyed my voice, and so they took me on and put me up for this film, and there I was with Edgar Wright, the writer, who had asked to see me again after the first sort of screen test, and he absolutely loved it, and there I was in the film. I had my own trailer and everything, and saw Simon and Nick, and it was just like, wow, amazing. This is my first taste of acting, really. That was I absolutely adore that kind of side of the whole entertainment industry. So
is that something you might go back to?
Yeah, definitely. I think it comes hand in hand with musical theatre as well. I mean, I absolutely love acting, and I'd love to do something on TV. I think I'd like to touch base with every kind of situation in the entertainment industry, because I just absolutely adore it, you know.
And of course, I think I saw you in this, Privates on Parade, which is, for those that don't know, is not as vulgar as it may seem.
Yeah.
But it's a big sort of like musical play, isn't it? But it's so funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very clever piece of work, and it seems to come round every 10 years that somebody revitalises it. Yeah. Did you enjoy that show?
I did. I played Stephen Cartwright, and that was really, really good fun. That was my first professional theatre job. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. A lot of nudity, which was quite daunting.
What did your mum say to that, though?
Oh no, it was all good jest. It was all good jest. Obviously in Brighton as well, so you can imagine the crowds going wild. Yeah. But no, really had a good laugh.
Yeah. And then, because of what you did and you went into this show, what I didn't realise when I met you last time was how quick you were put together. I don't know whether, call it my ignorance, but I think I just thought you all knew each other before. You know what I mean?
2 of the guys knew each other, Matt and Jamie, and they basically came up with this idea and auditioned a couple of guys, and then found me on YouTube. And then we literally had, well, we say we had a month, but actually we had like a week of rehearsals. And just loads of, we knew about the situation for a month, and then we were like, right, let's actually get together, which was hard enough, all 5 of us coming from different walks of life. So very, very rushed into that first audition. But hey, and then a few months later we win the whole thing. So,
but when I look back at the footage of you, you know, you can see you are, maybe you didn't feel that, but you look a very accomplished person. You don't look, I don't mean this patronising, but you're very young. But none of that shows, you know, like when I was your age, you know, because of TV and all that sort of thing, you think, wow, you know, you all actually seem very confident. Did you rehearse that confidence deep down where you're like, oh?
I mean, we're all absolutely like petrified. Yeah. Maybe you can't tell, but like on that first audition, I mean, you walk out and there's the 4 judges, and they almost look like waxworks.
Well, some are actually.
Well, you said it, not me. It was just crazy. And obviously, there's 3,000 people there in the Hammersmith, and you just can't prepare yourself for that kind of pressure.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know, what I love about that show to a degree is that if you win, and as you say, you were lucky enough to, you get one of those coveted things, the Royal Variety Performance, which a lot of people strive for years to get. And then you get it very quick. I don't mean that in a glib way, but very quickly. But it's very daunting, having done one. It's very daunting because it's not just any old sort of audience. I mean, they've paid a lot for their tickets, so there's a lot there, isn't there, to deliver, because they're not cheap tickets. Then you've got these people in a box. And are you aware of that when you're thinking, oh, I'll have a quick look? Or
yeah, it's funny. Of course, the Royal Variety Performance, you know, it's famous for having the royals there and incredibly prestigious as an event. But I feel like for us, there was so much other pressures going on. We just released Stars a few months earlier, had #1 album, and then we basically did a special edition of the album with a few more songs.
Yeah.
And the song we're about to sing was not Secrets. I can't even remember what it was. That's so long ago. But it was the one they're really pushing forward to sell this special edition of the album. So we had all these pressures from the record label to get this right. And the rehearsals, we had Sonny Tackle there, who was head of Psycho and, you know, sort of overseeing the whole thing. And that was just crazy, the initial pressures there. So many things are racing through your head, but you've got this curtain that's sort of raising up, and you hear the music come in, and then I start it off, and I step forward, and then into the spotlight. And the first thing in your mind is, I've got to nail this now, otherwise we're not selling any albums. You know, so like
it's terrible that takes away from it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it does. But I mean, like you said, we were all young,
Yeah.
and we were continuously bombarded with, we need to make sure we get this right. You know, this is a big selling point for the album, and it does take away a little bit from that. How fantastic that moment really is.
Yeah.
Obviously, I look back and I go, wow, I did the Royal Variety Performance. That was incredible. And obviously meeting Kate and Wills afterwards, unbelievable. But it's still that moment of, you know, we got to get this right.
Yeah.
So we do, you know, sell records and move forward with the tour. You know?
Yeah. And then, but you see, what I love about your stories, and that's what I mean, you're still a young boy, you've still got so much to achieve, but you've done so much in the sense of, like, as you say, on your bio, on your brilliantly put together website, can I say?
Thank you very much.
Check it out. And it's really nice because it's easy to read, you know, somewhere you think, I can't follow this.
Yeah.
And you forget that, you know, the phenomenal success, like in Japan, as you say, you know, thousands of people in this big stadium. So you've gone from being outside the theatre hall with your mum singing away to this thing in a very short space of time. It must be quite hard to acclimatise in some respects, because it's like, is it like a third person it's happening to, where you're looking and going, that Richard's doing this today, you know? It's like
it is weird, like you say. It's happened so quickly. I always found I had to adjust really quickly with the whole busking thing, because when I started singing, I've always had a mature voice for my age, and when I started singing at 16, people would come up to me and say, oh, have you got a business card? I want to book you for something. I'd be like, I don't have a business card, I better go get business cards. And then they'd be like, oh, do you have a website? And I'm like, no, better go print some new business cards with websites on them, you know, like, let's get a website together. So I was continuously always adjusting. And then obviously that moves into, you know, getting my first role, and then this, you know, the accolades that come with that, and then obviously winning Britain's Got Talent. And I don't know, I guess I just adapt. So to me it comes kind of easy, but I don't think anything ever prepared me for that first night when our audition went out onto TV, and literally Twitter blew up. All my social medias just went absolutely crazy. So that was like really overwhelming. That in my head, that's like the moment where I was like, "This is mad." I'm really actually struggled to sort of.
That's what I mean. It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's kind of everything you want in the one respect, but you nobody can prepare you. I think that happens to anybody who sort of becomes in the public eye with the news story that day, or a long-term career. You know, you're always, you know, re-engaging with yourself and thinking, you know, what do I want to do? So for you, you know, we don't want any negatives, but what was the point where you just thought, I need to find me again, Richard? Because I think that's what the story is for you. You're thinking, I thought, like a lot of people, I think you've got a fantastic voice.
Thank you.
And, I did want to hear more from you, and I was thinking this is a good thing for you. But it's also very brave. Really is incredibly brave, because to walk away from that, a lot of people must say, you're mad. But you've obviously got a good strength of character that you think, no, I know what I'm doing. This is what I want.
I mean, it's the golden egg, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had the TV show as a fantastic platform. We had loads of fans, which now some I've lost, because obviously leaving Collabro, people weren't necessarily too happy about it, and people jumped to the conclusion that I think I'm better than them, that I think that I can do it myself, which actually wasn't the case. I wanted to leave, much like you said, because I felt like I'd lost myself a little bit.
Yeah.
I was struggling emotionally. The band tensions weren't good. I stopped enjoying performing, and no matter what anyone says, they can't ever convince me to stay in that kind of space. A lot of people tried to, and I just wasn't going to do that for my own sanity.
You've got to do what you want at that time, though. That's the thing. I read this thing the other day, and I think it's very true. This, where somebody said it's the right decision at that right time. And you think, actually, that's quite true, because we all make big life decisions, and afterwards you think, what was I thinking? But at that moment in time, nobody can change your mind.
No,
because that's what you want.
I could have stayed and been comfortable, and just put my head down, carried on, and just pretended like everything was okay. And I chose not to, because it's not my character.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and be spineless. I'm gonna do what I think's right. I don't like being disrespected. I don't like being a pushover.
Yeah.
So I chose to make my move, and people said it was bold. We had a whole nother year of work. Like they're doing now. I think they're on a tour, and they're going to be they're doing a third album, which is great for them.
Yeah.
But
it's not what you want.
I'm not going to sit. It's not what I want. I was unhappy, regardless of how much money came in, regardless of another tour and things like that. I wasn't happy.
But you're revitalised now, because there's a new you, really. Last time we met, you were, shall we say, there was more of you, Richard. I can say that being true.
Oh, there was more of me.
But what was that, because that's a big thing to undertake as well. I mean, you completely changed your look. And, what made you decide that? How did you come to that conclusion?
Beginning of the year, that was probably when I was really upset. I was in America with Collabro, and it just wasn't a good time. I didn't have a good time out there. Found it really difficult being with them, and there was this point where I stopped fitting into all my clothes. And,
I know that feeling.
and I was like, I got to do something about this.
Yeah.
So I started doing a little bit, but never really lost anything. And I'm telling you, as soon as I left the band, it was like weight off my shoulders, literally. The weight fell off me, and it was almost like the stress levels came off, and I wasn't emotionally eating anymore. I didn't feel the need to have that moment on the lips, to
lifetime on the hips.
Well, exactly. Well, yeah. It did away with that pretty quick. But no, and then I lost 4 stone. And it was just, and I feel so much better for it. And, some people have critiqued me, some of the other Collabro fans have critiqued me for, he's lost it too fast and this, that and the other. And everyone tries to find some
you're young, you can do that,
And, but I haven't. Like, I feel, this is the most healthy I've ever been. I'm really fit. I'm playing rugby week in, week out. And just feeling great.
Would that have been another career if you could have chosen that, Richard?
It was my initial career, yeah. I was looking to go down the rugby route when I was about 18. I was in Harlequins Academy, and I was playing for South East England. And we had England trials in Coventry that year, and my shin splints sort of played up. I've been struggling with them for about 6 months, and I thought that I had them under control. And we just had these really intense days, and my legs just couldn't hack it.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunately the end of my rugby career. I still obviously play casually. Have to dose up on lots of painkillers before I play, but I managed to get through an 80-minute game, just about. But yeah, no, I still absolutely love the game.
Wow. You see, a lot of hidden talents. I kind of, because I think it's interesting that, you seemingly what you've gone for, you've got, and I think that some people, it is good like that. And I think you look great. I mean, I know that your pictures have got quite a bit of interest, shall we say.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing, is it? You know what I mean? And it's brave to do what you did, because normally they always do that to women, don't they? The before and the after. And I don't think we see enough of men. You see, when you see these men's health things, you see the finished thing, but nobody's ever brave enough to say, this is kind of what I look like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was nice, because I feel like a lot of people have messaged me saying, "Oh, you've inspired me to do this. You inspired me to do that," and that's great. And like, it's almost coming at two angles now. I'm inspiring people with my music and such, and also inspiring people with my body transformation.
Oh, I'm getting my NutriBullet out now.
Oh yeah, do. I'll give you a few recipes. Yeah.
So bringing us back up to date, I know you've got quite a few gigs coming up, and then into 2017. What can we expect from you? What's your plan next? What would you like to do?
Well, this week I'm performing on Thursday at the St Giles Fields Church for an incredible chat. Yeah, really lovely church, just near Tottenham Court Road. And it's going to be a Christmas Motown concert for the Haven charity, which basically helps struggling artists who are either struggling financially or mentally are struggling with the idea of trying to move forward with their career, and gives them a platform, gives them a chance to maybe put on a showcase or network with other people within the industry.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So yeah, I mean, and I know very much how it feels to. How emotions can play, whether that be in a band or, financial issues before Collabro. I very much remember trying to busk for money to, make a bit of money to get a Chinese at the end of the day. So, little funny things like that. But it's going to be a fantastic evening. I'm working with Mo Pleasure, who was originally in Earth, Wind and Fire, and Michael Jackson's pianist. So he's an incredible artist, really, truly good. And this weekend I have two shows. The first one is December the 10th, which is at the Pizza Express, in Soho, which is a great venue.
Nice venue,
yeah. And then the Piano Works on the Sunday in Farringdon is a really, really great gig. That's the 10th and the 11th. So, yeah, they're really exciting times. Like I said, showcasing all my new music. But also moving into next year, I think ultimately I'm looking to create an album. I'm starting to talk with people about doing development deals and things like that, getting together ideas and writing new music. I want to do some original stuff as well.
Yeah.
So
I think that's important, actually, don't you? Because I think it's great to do new interpretations of songs, but you as a performer, as a singer, you want your own standards. Do you know what I mean? You want somebody to say, I'm covering a Richard song. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
I think that's nice, actually.
Yeah, totally.
If you could pick a songwriter to work with, who would that be?
Oh, God,
because there's so many. Yeah, but there's so many great songwriters.
There is so many. I think I'm currently in chats with Mo Pleasure, who I mentioned.
He'd be great,
and he's really, really good. He really works within that whole funk and soul kind of vibe. So that really rubs off well on the kind of jazz stuff I'm doing. Going back to my roots from my busking days, So yeah, working with him is really cool. But I mean, ultimately, like end goal, Ed Sheeran just writes fantastic tunes, and I think it'd be really awesome to one day work with him on something.
Actually, I could see you two doing.
I think he could write a really cool jazz tune.
Yeah.
I think that Bublé's got some really great tunes like "Haven't Met You Yet," "Everything," that new one. Which is really.
And they are instant classics, aren't they? When you hear them on the radio, you think this will be played a lot. Not because it's Michael Bublé, it's just a good song.
Totally.
A good song will always outshine any artist.
Good production,
it's
good
a good
song.
hook, you're off. I've got to ask you finally, when did you realise that you had a voice, Richard? What age were you at that you thought, I like this? And the second part of the question is, when did you think, I might be able to make a bit of a living out of this?
My mum always told me that she couldn't stop me singing Barney the Dinosaur in the back of the car when I was like 4 years old.
There's your first cover version.
Yeah, exactly. Barney the Dinosaur, jazz. Yeah. Barney the Dinosaur. Yeah. I don't really know. I think I did Les Miserables when I was 9 years old. I was in Gavroche's gang down in Brighton, and there was a great theatre scene down there. And I just kind of got involved in the whole musical theatre side.
Yeah.
And then obviously busking was... my school really supported me as well. I don't really know when there was a moment where I went, oh, I can make a living off of this. I think there was a moment where I just went, I really enjoy getting up on stage and performing. I really enjoy just every time I would do it.
Yeah.
I get up on stage and I enjoyed the fact that different songs produce different emotions in people. You can make people cry. You can make people laugh.
That, isn't it? Yeah.
You can make people just smile and remember good things. That's what's great about music, and that's what I love about music. That's what I want to carry on into 2017 and bring new feelings to people in those live situations, because live performance, you just can't beat it.
Richard, as ever, it's been a thrill to catch up with you. Do come back and see us again.
Will do.
Thank you so much, and continued success, as they say.
Thank you very much.
That was really good, thank you.
Cool, absolute
really
pleasure.
Nice. No, really nice.
Oh, still trying to do this.